Okay, today is Tuesday, December 6th. This is IndigoMoon Aussies, the avatar litter. And we're going to try to get some separate videos, but they don't do anything. And so they're all running around. They get out of the pen a lot, and we play with them and let them run around. You can see them all playing. I'll try to point out a few of them. The one over there by herself against the file cabinet, that's Moat. And these two running, well, they ran too fast. Hey guys, there's Moat. Moat. They're doing really good on the paper. And here eating is Sute. That right there is Jakey Jake. That right there is Ateo. The one ripping up the toy is Thanator. And this one with the white right here is Gypsy. That's little Parker sitting there by himself. And let's see, that's Grace and Thanator that were playing with the toy, and now we're... Guys, puppies, look at this one. Getting in the filing cabinet. What the heck are you doing? What the heck are you doing? That was Ateo. I guess he was going to do some filing for us. Grace escaped under the bed, and she was lost temporarily. That's Gypsy biting my foot. Gypsy! Who's sitting there? Is that Jakey Jake? Who is that? So straight on, straight ahead eating is Sute. He's the one that's kind of facing us with the white. And then to his... Well, now they're all starting to eat. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, the one running towards me is Ateo. And then walking towards me, right there, he's kind of doing a still shot. That is Sute. And that is Moat. Right there by the little sheep. Thanator's doing some more filing for us. That's Parker. Parker! Hey, little guy. And he's kind of small, but you can't always judge size, not based on, in comparison to puppy. There's, you know, you look at things like their bone, their balance, so on, and you can determine size. And we've yet to get a small male. Sunny nor Rico have ever thrown a small male, so I don't see that in Parker. But when we're evaluating the litter, obviously, you know, we can see subtle differences. So for those of you that are looking for show homes, and I've had a lot of people ask me to evaluate this litter. And keeping in mind that I already have a male, first of all, I've got to count. I have 4 males, and I don't have kennels. My dogs are a part of my family, so that limits me. Let me get over here now. They just finished eating. They're eating a gruel. Whoa! That was Ateo that just took a flip in the food. Ateo! What happened to you? What happened to you? The camera right now is following Sute. And here we got a couple of wrestlers. We got a couple wrestlers. Moat. Thanator. Underneath looks like Parker. Ripping up my bedspread. Must be Jakey Jake. Yes. It is Jakey Jake. Guys, look. Hi. Hi. Where's Gypsy? Where'd Gypsy go? She's probably hidden somewhere. What I look for at this age, I mean, we do throughout the stages, but the shape of the head, you know, the way the stop is, the way the muzzle tapers. I'm really, really particular about heads. So I have a specific look that I'm looking for. That right there, he's taken over Thanator's job, is Sute. He's working on the filing. Those are my puppy, hey. Those are my puppy notes and whelping notes. So the best of this litter, I do think, is the males. When I combine everything, I like to put color secondary, but in the show ring, I think we have to accept the fact that if two dogs or two bitches are equal in structure, let's say they're both correct in structure, they're both correct in movement, then the flashier of the two is going to get the point. So when it comes down to that, correct structure should win against flash or color, absolutely. But if those things are equal, then flash comes first. But aside from flash, because the ones that I like do have a lot of white, but that's not necessarily, let me move over to see if I can get, they like to come right up by my feet, so I'm going to move up here and see if that works. It's not necessarily the defining factor. It is just the way that they hold themselves and definitely their personality. So in terms of show quality, I feel Sute, Jake, and Ateo, and I would say Ateo and Jake are pretty even, and I feel that Sute, he just has a little something extra above those. Parker is a beautiful boy. He doesn't have any faults or anything that I would disqualify him for, and I have his grandsire Sonny was very small as a puppy. In fact, one of the reasons why I was able to obtain Sonny is because he was small and it was not clear if he would come to size, which he definitely did. He turned out to be just a fabulous moving, very well put together, and just the best foundation sire. So at this age, they're wobbly and unsteady on their feet, but that's what I feel. I feel when I look at this litter and I forget about what my preferences are, and I just look at structurally what grabs me, I have to say that Sute is the standout for me personally. From that point, I feel that Ateo and Jake Sully, and all three of them have very definitive personalities. Very outgoing. Thanator, which is right in front of us, Thanator has a very outgoing, very animated, great personality. He has really good looks, but I don't like his face and his head quite as much, and I don't like the way his chest, the way he comes down. They're very wide at this age, so you can't really, you know, stack them. But I'm just trying to be honest with everyone. And my husband loves Thanator, and I know why, because Thanator is a very engaging puppy. But then again, too, my husband's constantly engaging with Thanator, where I'm more equally engaging. So to me, they're all very animated. Sute, very much. In the last video, I did make a mistake, and the puppy that was crying, that was sitting with their little paws crossed like Rico Jr., was actually Ateo, who on my whelping chart, as I was birthing him, helping to birth, obviously I didn't birth him, I nicknamed him Rico Jr. from the very beginning. And then it was after my son came home and all the puppies were born, I whelped alone up to the last two puppies. We named everybody. So anyways, also, Moat is a very, very pretty girl. She's spoken for. There's nothing wrong with her. She's got a lot of sparkle. She doesn't take any nonsense off of anybody. And then over there, the one biting is that Sute, and then who's attacking him is Grace. And I really, really like Grace too. She does not have quite as much white, On the show side, as you can see, she has a white leg, and then on the non-show side, just up past the paw to the elbow, and she has the skunk mark where the white comes in from the face, and she has a small collar. Keep in mind that they grow into their white. So the white on the face, what looks like, oops, they're grabbing something over here. What looks like a lot of white on the face, they grow into that. So, for example, looking right here at Grace, if you look at that stop that she has a feminine head, very much like Moat. I've said this from the beginning, her and Moat are very similar in type. If we look at Grace, the way that the shape of her face is for a bitch, I think is just absolutely perfect. And she's got a lot of dark copper. And I've also said she reminds us, so those that are, again, looking at potential show homes, I would say, if you're looking at Grace, look at Mira. When I say look at Mira, I'm talking about Mira's face markings in the shape of her face. Some of her pictures on the table are not very flattering. She looks big and she's a very small girl. Small meaning in height. She's got a lot of bone. Also, again, we say the Avatar litter. Grace reminds me a lot of Esme out of the last litter, and I'm still waiting for updated pictures. Their family went through a really sad situation with a sister having some health issues, so they haven't been able to get pictures and get things going. And she is going out this in the beginning of 2012 out. She is a show prospect, and I'm told she's beautiful. This is Moat. Moat, what are you doing? She was untying my shoes for me. And then again, there's Thanator, and moving away is Grace. Coming into the picture, I have to see, because they're so close, I have to look at those tiny little, the butt wiper is Sute, and they go to the vet on Thursday. They don't need to go. They don't require shots until they're 6 weeks, but I want my puppies seen at least 3 to 4 times by a vet, just because that's just how I am. So let's see who's hiding from us. Who's sleeping here? I think this might be. Who's sleeping? That's a Teo. And Teo has got a really beautiful head too, as well as Sute. Let me get this one out. That's Jakey Jake. Jakey Jake has a beautiful head too. He is a little more domed. He's not as broad in the top skull as down here. This one right here, Jake, is broader in the top skull, as well as Sute is broader in the top skull also. So let me make sure. Okay, so we've got this here is a Teo. This is a Teo. This is Jakey Jake. And then, if you can see, trying to get it where you can see me pointing, laying, okay. Laying down, you can tell by the white on the ear, is Thanator. And then right next to Thanator is Sute. And now Grace is chewing on untying my shoe. There's Grace. Let's see who's hiding. Who's hiding? Who's hiding? There's Moat. There's Gypsy. Hold on, sorry about that. I'm alone again. And that's Parker that I just pulled out. And Parker, he's actually, his head, if you really have to just have a feel for their heads, because his head's a little bit, sorry, we got out of focus there. His head's smaller, but if you look at his bone and his balance, he's got a lot of bone for his size. So I don't think he's going to be ugly or anything of the kind. If I'm being honest, and I think that's the only way to go and evaluate the litter, then again, everything that I know about this pedigree, this cross, what we've produced, what we're capable of, I would say Sute would be, to me, the pick. If I did not have Edward, I would keep Sute. And it's a very close tie between Ateo and Jake. All three of those boys have tons of personality, but the first cross, all of them did. I mean, we had, like, Alice was a little bit on the calm side. Parker is a little more patient. He's not really a fighter. He'll wait his turn at the food. He'll wait till everybody's done. Who is over there? That is Moat. Moat doesn't take much. She's not very patient at waiting. You can see she's a big girl. So I would like to get single videos, but they're so young right now, and doing everything by myself makes it difficult. So hopefully this gives everyone a little bit of an idea, and because I've had so many phone calls and inquiries in the last 3 days, I wanted to give an evaluation and just kind of point out. I will say this, just because Grace is a little plain, I absolutely feel Grace is show quality. In fact, if I am so tempted to keep Grace over Gypsy, the only thing that I'm thinking is I have Mira is an absolutely gorgeous, correct bitch. She just doesn't have flash. So my way of improving would be to keep a female that has everything that Mira does, correct movement, great temperament, outgoing, loves to show, but a little bit more flash. And that's the only reason. Edward has lived up to all my expectations, and I do think that Sute is going to be the most like Edward in personality and looks. He may not have quite, I think he's going to have a little bit squarer head, possibly, but he's definitely, as far as looks, he's definitely going to be the looker that Edward does. Now, when we talk about white, too, I'm going to briefly go over that. The AKC standard calls that the white must, at the hairline, must not exceed the withers. The white hair, I've mentioned this many times, is always longer than the straight body hair. So when you check a puppy, like when Edward was born, when you looked at him, his body looked half white. And upon, you know, when I saw him, when I birthed him, he was the last litter, I thought, oh, we got a mismark. But then I thought, wait a minute, hold on. And so you lift their fur to where the hairline comes, and this is Sute, or I'm sorry, this is Thanator, and he is way above, and like these little pieces of white, that's common to see a little bit of white hair throughout a black tri, and that's nothing to worry about. What we worry about is, let's say that he had a big white body patch right here, a little bit of white coming up the leg, they grow out of that, that's not a concern. But let's say that Thanator had a white patch or a white spot here, absolutely he would be a mismark. Or let's say that this ear right here, this ear that's white, there was no color here at the eye, it was completely no black on the leather. If that was completely white, this whole area, he would be a mismark. But he is not. So that's my litter evaluation, and we'll continue to keep everyone posted, and we will work towards individual videos. It's just I just cleaned their pen. I am doing 3 to 4 loads of laundry a day and cleaning their pens as many times, and they're starting to need to eat 4 times a day. Plus I have other dogs. So just bear with us, and thanks for watching IndigoMoon Aussies Avatar Litter.